Welcome to Dimension Hell, my friends. Good to be here, no? And today we're catching up with the Surgeon, a Hell staffer who specializes in skinning his full Monty patients by sitting over them on a surgical slab rather than a table and cutting them up. He is a grim parody of a real surgeon and makes but a brief appearance in Hellraiser Judgment. Even so, in this 2018 film, he acts as the main threat, and every human who comes by the Hell's Auditor's judgment chamber is trying to avoid being on his sick list. The black gas mask surgeon may be small in stature, but makes up for it in impact, and the scene where he's shown going to work is arguably the movie's scariest moment. While fans may have come to know the Cenobite who goes by the same name, Surgeon Cenobite, this Cenobite differs from the Hell Worker. While Surgeon Cenobite's loyalty goes to Leviathan's favorite child, Pinhead's, the Hell Worker comes under the Auditor's command, shown as a completely separate wing of hellish work in Hellraiser Judgment. In this video, we will open up the story of the Surgeon for you, look at exactly how he varies from the Cenobite Surgeon, and explore his almost Nazi cyborg-like appearance and unique duties within the Hellraiser series. But before we get into it, we have a small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing. It's a small click for you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's go. Cenobites. Who are they? Cenobites are quite literally the Hellraisers. They are the ones that bring down all hell upon the humans that solve the lament configuration. Humans, usually the depraved types, lured by the great pleasures promised by certain puzzle boxes like Le Marchand's box, go on to put their mind and soul into solving the puzzle box. But unbeknownst to them, the puzzle box, or the lament configuration, opens the doors of the hellish dimension of the Cenobites. A Cenobite or a group of them appears through this wormhole of sorts and hauls the humans away into their labyrinth. The labyrinth is a maze, yes, another puzzle if you will, where these human souls are held and tortured. The potential Cenobites are taken into a transformation chamber where the engineer has his way with them. After going through extreme torment and being redesigned into cut and pinned figures, losing their mortal memories and becoming truly damned creatures, if Leviathan, the god of the labyrinth, decides they have what it takes, they join the ranks of his most faithful servants, the Cenobites. They become his tool for achieving order. They do this by pulling up the degenerate human specimens, chaining and hooking them up, and putting them through excruciating torture for all eternity. Who is the Surgeon, the worker of hell? The Surgeon is a black gas-masked little entity who operates under the Auditor in charge of Hell's Stygian Inquisition. The Stygian Inquisition is the department that precedes the Cenobite torture chambers in the film Hellraiser Judgment. The scum of the human race is brought to the Auditor, who interviews them to gain insights into the sins they had committed in life. He scribes them out with their blood, after which the Assessor, who appears to be a big guy who likes his food, goes through them. And by going through them, we mean he eats those documents of sin compiled by the Auditor whole. In the film, we watch the Assessor eat this stuff in an incredibly gross turn of events and barf it out afterwards. Then, the undigested, bloody, disgusting cocktail is sent to a jury of some skinned-faced ladies. If the jury says yay instead of nay, the accused human is sent to be cleaned up by a different set of women, and thus enter the Butcher and the Surgeon. The Butcher is basically a large, comfy couch for the Surgeon, which is strapped to his back. At the risk of dissolving some of that dark Hellraiser vibe, I have to mention that the Surgeon entrance kind of reminds me of Ace Ventura when Nature Calls, where the pet detective, played by the one and only Jim Carrey, faces up with the tiny Wachutu fighter in the Circle of Death Test. A small yet feisty Wachutu fighter is carried in by a similarly large, round guy and bursts out to fight from his back sack in the exact same way as the Surgeon. It's an identical setup, barring the costumes and horror backdrop. It's interesting to see the later Hellraiser installments going so far and wide for inspiration, even into the physical comedy zone. But okay, let's whiz back into the shadowy, grimy room with the Butcher and the Surgeon. While Hellraiser Judgment, which mostly takes place within the living realm with way fewer sequences of the Cenobites dimension, received mixed critical and audience reactions upon its release, ranging from good to pretty bad, the introduction of the Surgeon stands out as the most edgy moment in the first half of the film. The surgeon arrives in a laced-up body bag stash sword on the butcher's back. He bursts out of it in a glorious black tatters flying about flash and mounts the victim, or sentenced human soul, however one may look at it. Straddled on top, the surgeon brings out his two curved moon-like blades and holds them out momentarily, sending the guy under him into a fearful frenzy. Not a moment later, he gets down to work, slashing and slicing the guy with lightning precision. When he's done making all the right cuts, he lets dramatically go of his tools and proceeds to step 2, which is peeling the skin over the guy's head like a pullover. There's a lot of build-up to the surgeon scene, which hardly lasts a minute, but to the little guy's credit, it's awesome. And that's in no small part because of the surgeon's mortifying, just awful appearance. The surgeon appearance. Whatever the audience and critics have to say about Gary J. Tunnicliffe's 2018 installment of Hellraiser, we've got to agree that Cenobites, as well as the other hell creatures, were designed with beautifully horrific alternations from their previous counterparts. The surgeon is an all-black, leather-bound, small creature, his costume complete with black gloves and a gas mask. The gas mask sports a silver zipper over the mouth area, giving it a skeletal look. The surgeon's black garb is hooked with a chainmail that hangs over his body like a doctor's lab apron, a beautifully sinister add-on. The surgeon's weapons, the moon-shaped blades, could pull dread from a stone. It's a clever design, and within those black-gloved fingers, they do feel like an extension worthy of a surgeon from the labyrinth. Is he different from Surgeon Cenobite? The Surgeon Cenobite was a part of the Hell Priest, Pinhead's core team from Hellraiser Hellseeker. While the small Hell worker we discussed earlier in the video has vague origins at best, the Surgeon Cenobite's past is well documented. Before Surgeon Cenobite became Leviathan's servant, he was one of the best medical surgeons in human existence. His name was Deacon Vranian, and he was a world-renowned doctor with a perpetually booked OT. However, everything changed when his wife came to his operating table. None of his skills and experience worked that day. He failed, and his wife died. He broke down, his mind and soul crushed under the grief of her death. He was driven to the occult to drown out his misery, and this is where he found the Lament configuration puzzle box. He solved it, and Pinhead came to him and gave him a way out of his pain. Deacon took his offer, and we all know the terrible drill that ensued afterwards. This is how he came to be a Cenobite. As a Cenobite, his appearance differs significantly from the Hell's workers. His head is permanently bound with a metal apparatus, from the forehead down to the chin. The metal encases his forehead and is fitted into his eye sockets. It even spread holds his mouth open, making him resemble the Chatterer, one of Pinhead's original Cenobites. His eyes are fully inlaid with the metal covering them, so he cannot see. Surgeon Cenobite's vestment is pretty sick, black and grim with a square pattern, and much of his appearance neck down will remind you of Pinhead himself. The Surgeon Cenobite, however, wears trousers, unlike Pinhead's robes. However, the top cutouts of his vestment, even the wounds over his torso, are almost the same as those on Pinhead's. His tools are totally different from the Hell workers, and he carries them around his waist. They appear to be an assortment of surgeon implements mixed with butcher's shop wares. We don't watch him at work all that much, and therefore are left to presume his hellish duties must be surgery-related, taking human organs apart and needling them through, maybe. Well, what we do know about the Surgeon Cenobite is that he directly does Pinhead's bidding, like collecting souls for him as he did in Hellseeker. But so far, he has been used as a sinister presence rather than a straight-up slayer like the Hellworker surgeon. Marvelous verdict. Surgeon the Hell Worker is the very definition of the idiom, big things come in small packages. While the Surgeon Cenobite debatably displays a scarier exterior, he feels like a dormant presence alongside Pinhead, someone with the classic Chatterer's menacing appeal. Meanwhile, the little Hell Worker who jumps out of the butcher's backpack in Hellraiser Judgment is a real-time monster who is far more terrifying than his namesake Cenobite. His appearance is a mysterious blend of black cyborg and a wispy raven, and he's so theatrical in his work that he creates quite a show. So yeah, if I'm headed to the Hell Chamber and have a choice between the two, it's the Deacon Vranian's Cenobite version for 2. I'm totally playing. One is staying spick and clean in life, so one never has to face these guys or go to Hades or any other inferno. No thank you. We're going to pull up on that note, fam. Be warned, if you find any strange, beautiful puzzle boxes lying around in somebody's place, put a pin in your climbing curiosity and let it stay right there. there. Alright guys, if you like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Much appreciated. Bye for now.